What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Revival. My name is JJ, and it's time for another collection video. This time, Nintendo 64. Alright, so, real quick, there was a video I did a while ago, that was, this is going to be a little confusing. There was a video I did a while ago where I went to a convention and I was able to get a few boxed N64 games, and so I won't be including those in here. These are loose ones. However, I do actually have some of the boxes to these as well that I've noticed. I just apparently didn't put them back in the boxes, which I need to do at some point, so these are the ones that are currently loose, but some of them I do have the boxes for, and I'll try to remember which ones they are as we go through, and yeah, I just didn't want to go through and pull all those out and stuff, because they're kind of just in the shelves, and anyways, my Nintendo 64 collection. Yeah, we'll start at the top. First up is a game that I have not played, but a series that I have been working my way through. Actually, just today when I'm recording this, I finished Resident Evil 1. This is Resident Evil 2. I won't be playing this version. I honestly don't even remember getting this. I'm sure it probably came with like some lot that I got or something like that. Or I just got it really, really cheap. Because I legitimately don't even remember getting this at all. But I have some things to say on the series so far. I've played 0 and 1 now. I did them both this past week. This is Saturday the 15th, and I'm... Listen to Pixel's perspective, the next episode, and I will talk about how I felt about 0 and 1. Yeah, so, love the story, by the way. It's awesome. Can't wait to get to more games. So, let me just put that out there first. I'm not going to trash it on that regard or anything, so... but I do have a lot of thoughts and a lot of things to say about them. So, yeah, Resident Evil 2. Next up is a game that I have wanted for a long time, recently got, and I am super, super stoked to finally play it at some point, and that is Ogre Battle 64. Really, when the N64 was, you know, one of the big things, I had heard about this game. I had heard about very few actual RPGs on the system at all, so anytime I did hear one, I was all about it, and I wanted to get it, and I wanted to check it out. This was really hard to find back in the day, though, so... really glad to have a copy and super excited to get into this. This was actually the reason I got another memory card for the system, because I was like, I have to be able to save my game, obviously. So definitely super excited to play Ogre Battle 64 at some point. I've never played any of the Ogre Battle games, surprising as it is. I'm super excited to get into one of them. So if you are watching my channel, what's a good one to start with? Let me know, because I've got a few of them. I just have not played any of them. So. Next up is Castlevania. I'm not a massive Castlevania fan, not that I dislike the series. I just haven't been exposed as much to them. Don't have a lot of experience with them. I'm terrible at the older ones for like Nintendo and stuff. Those are pretty much the only ones I have played other than Symphony of the Night, which I did love. So I don't know much about this other than I think I remember seeing screenshots and that it was in 3D, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you know, it's Castlevania, it's iconic, so I remember picking it up, and I just was like, you know, it's cheap enough. It's got a torn label on the back, unfortunately, but it's, you know, it's still Castlevania on the N64, so I was super excited to have it in my collection. Hopefully I'll check it out at some point. Next up is my favorite wrestling game of all time. I have not played very many, mind you, but I played this one so much. And I have a little funny story about it, and that is WCW NWO Revenge. Anybody who's played this game will tell you it's fantastic. It's so good. I used to play this with my friend Joey, and Joey, I'm really sorry, man, because I know I made you put up with a lot of crap. He was really good at this, and he would beat the crap out of me every single time. He would always win. The only way I could win is if I had a chair or some item from the audience. You can go out, you jump out of the ring, grab something from the audience, and use it to beat the crap out of your opponents. That was the only way I could win. And I would whine and complain that the controller was busted or whatever, because he would be able to pull off all these moves, and I'd be button mashing, going crazy, what am I doing differently from you? Because I'm watching your hands and you're doing the exact same thing. And he would just kick my butt the entire time, unless I got a chair. Or a trash can, or a baseball bat, or whatever else you can grab, and then I would win cheaply. So Joey, I apologize, buddy. You are the superior at this, hands down, and I knew that, but it bugged the hell out of me, so I had to cheat. But I love this game nonetheless. You can create your own fighters. It's just really, really, at least I think you can. You either create your own fighters, or you change costumes or something like that. I remember there's some sort of costume thing. Either way, I didn't mess with it too much anyways. I just remember that being in there. And then I loved what was it, Hanzo Man? I don't know anything about wrestling, but I remember that guy's name from the game, and he was who I always used because he was like a ninja and he was super quick, and damn it, this game is really good. If you haven't played it on N64, it's so good. For real. WCW NWO Revenge. From that amazing game, we go to one that's not so amazing, and that is Quest 64. Still, to this day, a part of me wants to go back and beat this game, just to say that I've done it. I would use a walkthrough, I would totally use a guide, but man, the few times that I have attempted it, I had no idea what I was doing. It was easy to get lost. The combat was weird. I saw on some videos online that you can get yourself stuck if you spec wrong. There's so many problems with this game, but it was the first real hope that I remember having for RPGs on the N64. Not that the N64 had bad games that weren't RPGs, but it was just because I loved RPGs so much, I was hoping for them. This game frustrates me to no end, and it's even more frustrating because I do still want to go back one day and hopefully finish it. I was terrible at it, and it was a mess. So, yeah, Quest 64. If you have beaten this game, man, props to you. Absolutely. Next up is a game that needs no introduction whatsoever. That is Goldeneye 007. Man, if you were around during the time of the N64, you played this game. There was just no two ways about it. This was the game to have. This was the game to bring out with your friends. 4-player, losers switch out, winners stay in, and you just go to town and have a good time. I was really, really good at this. I remember several parties that I went to in high school where we just always played this, and like I said, we would switch out the losers. I think it was third and fourth place would switch out, and then first and second would get to stay in. Or maybe it was even just first place that would stay in. Either way, we had so many people that were rotating in and out, but I would pretty much be there all night because I would just keep winning, and I was so into I've always been into games obviously, but I was so into this, and I love this game so much. I still do. It's rough to go back to now. I remember trying it a couple of years ago just to see how it held up, and it's not, and I was terrible at it now. Probably because I'm just not used to the N64 controller like I was back in the day. But man, I can tell you back in the day, I was really good at this. And I'm sure everybody says that, but I remember having, parties where I literally would not stop playing because I just kept winning, and it was awesome. And that's a super lame flex, but hey, it's all I've got. So, Goldeneye, it was a fantastic game. It's a great piece of gaming history that I hope a lot of you got to try back when it was, the big thing. The next one is the spiritual successor to it, and that's Perfect Dark. This game, also amazing. Didn't get to, play this as much with, big groups of people like we did with Goldeneye, but the single player on this was really good, and I remember, I loved being able to play with bots on this, and that was cool. Setting up your own maps, creating your own rules, and the guns were just so weird and out there and everything. I love the laptop gun, being able to set up turrets and stuff. That was really fun. I really, really like this game. There is the Rare Collection, I believe, has it. You can get that on Xbox One, and it's still a really fun game to check out. And again, another really good piece of gaming history. I never played the sequel, don't really have any interest in it, but this was really good at the time. Just never got to the height of popularity as 007 as far as like my circle of friends and people I hung out with and stuff. Another game that, gosh, I spent so many hours on this, just replaying the first level over and over again, as I'm sure many of you did too. That is Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Again, a lot of these N64 games don't hold up super well, to be honest with you. This game is no exception. It does not hold up great. But man, back in the day, especially that first level, that Hoth, where you're just flying around in the ship and you're taking down the big walkers and stuff, it was just so much fun, and it was the best Star Wars game that had come out at the time, in my opinion. I even read the book because I enjoyed it so much. This is another great piece of gaming history. This was one of the big ones when the N64 came out. A lot of people wanted this game, and the Star Wars fans obviously went crazy for it. But even non-Star Wars fans thought it was just really cool to see. And there's just the level diversity in this game is so awesome. There's some long ones. That was probably the roughest part from what I remember. There's some levels that take a really long time to beat. But as far as like just the fun factor and enjoyment and the memories I have with this, it's up there. It's absolutely up there. So great game, Shadows of the Empire. Next up is The Legend of Zelda, the Ocarina of Time. Again, game that needs no introduction. A lot of people consider this to be the best Zelda game, even better than like Breath of the Wild and stuff. I would agree that I would say Breath of the Wild is probably better than this, but at the time when this came out, this was pinnacle Zelda, and it was for a long time. First 3D one that came out, it was great. I still prefer the top-down, old-school, Link to the Past, that kind of stuff. But this was really cool, and this was a really fun one to talk about with your friends when you were, at school or just hanging out or whatever, because everybody had their own way of approaching different things, and everybody wanted to compare notes as to where they were at in the game, what temples they had done. It was just really cool, just a cool conversation starter. This one I do have the box for. I think I do for Shadows of the Empire, Perfect Dark. I think that's it on this list as far as what I have the boxes for, but I do have it for this, as well as the next game and the last one in this video, and that is Majora's Mask with the weird faceplate on there that changes the movement thing. What is that, translucent or whatever it's called? I don't even know what they're called. You know what I'm talking about, I think, maybe. Anyways, Majora's Mask. I don't like this game. I do not like this game. It is so good. That makes no sense. This game is really good. What I do not like is the stupid 3-day timer. I've talked about this. I don't know if I talked about it on Pixel Perspective. On Frozen North, I definitely did. I hate games that have a timed mechanic. I hate time limits. It's just awful and the worst, and it just puts added pressure on what should be a fun experience, and I am not a fan of having to go back and do things over again. I realize that some things save and you just go back and after you reset, you go back and it's right where you left it, but it's like you still have to backtrack, and I just did not like this. I got really far and I got super close to finishing it, but I just got fed up. Yeah, it's unfortunate because I know a lot of people love this game, and I totally get it. I can see the appeal other than that 3-day timer. Everything else, so cool. Especially like the transformations and like, going to meet the Gorons for the first time and all that stuff. I mean, there's just so much cool stuff about this game that I wish I could have experienced without having that frustration behind it. So yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I have the box for this as well. So yeah, Majora's Mask. I'm going to go ahead and call it there for the first video because I've got 2 more stacks here. Yeah, so we'll check back in next week. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as always, keep on gaming.